ESP. This is George right here. Ricardo.
Yep.
I'm Jared. Sam. Evan.
Say
Topics of today. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Topics of today. Do video games make you violent? And dystopian futures.
How
For
serious?
video games, do they make you violent? I'm on the fence, really. I think no.
I think we're all, as like millennials, I think we can all agree that they don't. But I mean, okay, so this is my point of view. I think that video games, while they can be very violent, it's just another way for you to
Release.
right
Anger.
to
Get it out, vent it.
exactly, just like watching a fight.
It's your purge.
It's your purge. You get to
Purge.
purge.
It's in the name.
No, I don't know. I got nothing. That's
Okay,
It
so-
lets you release your kept up rage, cooped up. I don't know what the.
pent up
Pent up.
anger.
Me
yeah.
feel English.
Less
allows
words
you to
used.
It allows you to release that anger that you have kept up inside, right? Just release it into the game. That way, you're not, punching strangers in the bus. Also, I never take the bus, so I wouldn't know. I usually just punch strangers in the bars.
No, you do.
All right. Well, I think that right now there's no way of testing it because it's hard to test something that you can't really measure.
Give a
How can you measure like that video game? Like usually if it's like with alcohol or any sort of drug, you can measure the limits and then you can see how they act on those measurements. But how can you measure video games?
On our next episode, we will be testing drugs and alcohol.
I condone.
In hours
I
played,
condone these.
you can measure. Like if somebody's just playing like Red Dead Redemption 2 and just stabbing people in the fucking face for like 8 hours a day, and then like a week later they're just like stabbing people in a fucking mall. Then it's like, all right, man, this is maybe kind of
Maybe
related.
there's a connection.
If the person wasn't sleeping,
No,
maybe
but-
that person just thought he was dreaming that he was stabbing people in the mall when he really was actually stabbing people in
And
the mall.
there are
It's
pretty
just like
dangerous
rape.
too.
So what I mean is like in a biological way. So if they could prove that if you play 8 hours a day for X amount of days, then biologically a chemical in your brain is gonna, either go up or go down,
Yeah,
which
like
causes you or could cause you to, be more aggressive. I don't know.
One thing I know is that like the very first video game I ever played was the very first Mortal Kombat game for Sega Genesis,
that was so cool.
and I have never tried to take somebody's head and literally raise it out of their body with the spinal cord.
But
You're
you
using anecdotal.
But you
you're
thought
using
about it.
That's anecdotal. And
yeah.
also, that doesn't mean anything because I've never played that Mortal Kombat, and I've tried to do that.
yeah.
So come on.
No,
Where's your proof?
Where's your proof that you actually did that?
The spine
Like
is
it
very
right
hard
now.
to grip.
no,
Yeah,
but
it's like I think my first video game ever was Sonic the Hedgehog.
it's such a good game. Okay.
But it does not. Well, yes,
I
that
mean,
statement is correct. It is a good video
Sonic
game.
or Mario?
My opinion is correct. Yes.
I don't know. Well, we're talking more about violent video games.
Hey,
because-
he killed robotic animals,
I mean, I guess.
but
It was E for everyone,
living.
so
If they were robotic.
But okay, so video games and violence. I mean,
it's the same. It's the same as like, nature nurture. You can't. There's no way of proving that just video games alone causes violence. It could be a variable. I don't know how we would,
I think it
find
also
that.
really depends on the home life though, because like a lot of times when kids are watching like maybe violent TV shows or
I was
or
about
playing
to say
violent
that.
video games, it's like if the parents aren't there to like let them know, hey, this is okay in like a fantasy simulation or type thing,
exactly.
or it's
Ding,
not
ding,
happening in
ding.
reality.
yeah.
I've got exactly like on that exact point. Like,
Really
can you blame the video game when the kid? Yeah, he's playing Grand Theft Auto and he's running through the street punching people in the face, and then he's in the car listening to songs about stealing, about murder, about having guns, and then he goes to watch TV and he's watching people fight and violence and watching UFC and watching all of these things,
Cells.
and then goes to school and that's pretty much I don't know. I think there's a fight every day in school, right? Public school. We all went to
But
we
that
all went
kid
to public school and
That
you
kid
know.
started it.
We all went to public school, and it's
It's something.
it was something. It's my English.
But they stay in CSI. That was-
I think, I mean, I do think on that note, I think that it speaks a lot to, oh fuck man, I'm losing my train of thought, bro, like crazy. Did I smoke today? Am I high right now?
Is this real?
No.
How did all this skin get on my head?
No, but parents do have a large factor to play. Like for
Tell
example,
us about how you raise your kids.
well, not my kids, but my dog. I'd beat the shit out of her if she ever did something I didn't like. No, I'm kidding. But
This one right here.
discipline. No, she's the sweetest thing.
This sweet little
Because
thing.
I beat. I'm just kidding. Discipline
with
is
force.
key.
With a firm
But that being said,
firm fist.
that being said, like for example, if you see, it's like the whole nature nurture thing. So if you see, if you act like the things that you see or do, like play video games or anything like that, if you know you
If you're that impressionable.
well, right. I mean that's true, but you tend to act. For example, if you in video game, you punch people in the face, you stab people in the throat, and if you start like hitting people and everything, and it's your parents' job to be like, you don't do that. That hurts people. And then you just.
But doesn't that also? But what about the other half of that argument of like maybe biologically they're just, the way that they're built, they're
You can't
predisposed to being more aggressive.
You can't blame it on video games. I mean, video games might be like a trigger. It might be like oh, this might like I could do this. I could. Oh, this is a creative way to murder people.
Gives them ideas.
You're like, wait, if I could
But-
just sneak up behind them. I
Insert
never
the
knew
knife.
so much about people until I took one apart. Piece by piece.
So
Okay, what are we talking about?
I think we're talking about George's fantasy.
I wake up at night, just so turned on, sweating.
but
Hey, come on.
The horrors of my
I
dreams.
just think it really all depends on circumstances. At the end of the day, it's just if you have nothing to like really like buffer out and like to tell you that this is whatever you're doing in this video game is wrong. Like
I mean,
you
can't blame the specific video games for making people violent, though. I mean, it's kind of like
if it's the only factor, if it's the only factor that's able to be the impressionable thing on that kid, then yes, you can. If that's the thing, and there's nothing around that kid to tell him this is not right in real life.
There have been cases where I think parents will literally take away or break a kid's actual gaming system or game. I think they hurt each other.
No.
Careful, girls. Or they bump, like they get rid of a child's game, and then the kid like snaps and does something
Yeah,
violent to the
you
parents,
freaked out.
or even kills the parents. That's happened before. I've read cases of that. So it's like,
Not to change the story, but like I actually saw an article today where like this woman apparently attempted to kill her parents because they wouldn't take her to Outback Steakhouse. I just thought that.
now
I just thought that blew my mind.
have you ever had their steaks?
I have. They're not very good.
Was this in Florida?
I wouldn't kill somebody for it.
It's not really something to go. Yeah,
What
dude.
if you haven't had a steak for a while?
I think that was my neighbor. No, I can't say.
Like, oh, you mean Bethany? Oh man, she always looked like the type. I always thought she would snap, man. I always hated how in the news like,
Back to the
they
point,
never seem
though.
like okay.
Back to the point,
Out
though.
ahead.
What do you think as an audience? Do you think that games actually make people violent? Comment. Let us know.
Comment down below. Right
Yeah,
here.
right here. Just look down.
Somewhere on this table.
Below us.
Yeah.
How do you know that the
But-
camera ends here? But if the camera ends down here, the comment section's down there.
Tell the dog.
There's a bunch of dogs.
Editing. Anywhere. So,
Oh, bitch.
but what about? I think I read an article where the statistics for violence. I think from 1990 something, when video games were just starting, but they weren't anything.
Game ratings were just getting put in.
But the violent crimes and any sort of statistical violent crimes was higher than it is now. So back then, when video games were barely anything, it was at, I don't know, like whatever, 50%. And then now when they did it at they did it at 2014, or I forgot what year, when video games, the market or what was it? It was like, now it's like $1 billion
when it
company.
exploded.
Yeah, it exploded and it went down. Violent crimes have actually gone down. So how can you say that video games have gone up and violent crimes have gone down, and then blame video games for violence?
Maybe they're actually a way to reduce violence. Maybe people just get all their anger out in a video game. Because how many people escape reality by going into a video game? To be honest,
That's horrible. You're like sitting at home and so fuck you, Dave. It's just like your boss, and you're just like
I'm
eating
sorry.
from
Yeah,
cans.
that's better than stabbing your boss in life and in real life.
That's true.
Is it though?
Hands up.
Is it really though?
Not as satisfying, I'm sure.
I like my bosses.
Yeah, I know, me
like,
too.
Do they like you
cut out of
Yeah,
it.
what a brown nose. If you're watching, I love you.
Please promote me,
I'll suck your dick.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Let him finish.
But no.
Did you sign the treaty? I
Do
love
they
that.
force you to call them Mr. President?
No, you just by their first name.
Birthday.
Alright,
What
but
happens if the president is Mr. President?
I totally don't think that games make you a violent person.
I think they make you less violent. And to me, video games are like, they're a good way to
aggression.
save money as well. I mean, you could spend $60 on a video game, which is I think the flat rate. It's pretty much all new games cost like $60 unless you're buying extra features. If you're one of those chumps like me, I want that controller. But
I want the statue that comes with it.
exactly.
I want the deluxe edition.
Yes. But like, what if you want to just stay home and play video games instead of okay, I'm gonna go out to the movies today, or I can stay playing video games. If I go to the movies, that's like, what is it, $20 for the movie ticket, another $50 for a small bag of popcorn nowadays apparently. And Jesus, God forbid you want something healthy, because that's 3 times more expensive than something that's gonna kill you. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's like,
We're all sheep, man.
yeah, I mean, it's cheaper. It's cheaper in the long run to get a game, just chill at home, relax, and take it easy, right?
No, most games are like movies now.
It will cost
Like,
you a relationship, though. She will break up with you. Just saying.
The Last of Us
Oh.
was basically a movie.
So
It
good.
was amazing. And
Yeah,
it
interactive
is
movies.
it is my favorite dystopian future that I would, if I had to pick a future, I would have that dystopian future.
Great
Okay.
segue.
So all humans. Okay, so what would be an ideal like dystopian future? So like, say for example, okay, so The Last of Us. It's like a what
She
is
had her
it?
head on,
The mushroom.
a spore
The spores
infection.
take over, and humans have to be
And
quarantined.
clickers.
And then like, and then you have like your. It's kind of like we were talking about before. How like, what if like we were only forced to use like our fists instead of weapons? So like, and that kind of whole thing brings up like a hierarchy, just like in the game. Like you have like we're quarantined, but like you have like people become they group up to become a
Articulate your
stronger.
words, man.
Thanks, man. People group up to become like to become a stronger. A stronger force is something to put everyone else down, the weaker people down, get more food.
Take their supplies.
Where would you be? I mean, but sometimes you'd have to kind of
Band together.
well, you'd have to apply yourself to that kind of evil to survive. Like they did in.
Wait, so we're in dystopian futures now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, dystopian futures now. We're on that topic.
Okay.
It was a little segue.
Guess that happened. All right.
Like
sure.
the viewers are like following us, and you're just like, wait,
What
what?
the fuck is
Yeah,
happening?
they look at us as, they
'Cause-
know we're amateurs here.
Because it was
No,
a
they don't.
pretty clever segue. I mean,
Yeah, I feel
unintentionally.
like it didn't have to be said until you made that segue.
We went from video games, and then we're like the clickers in video games, and then it's like a movie, and then it's the future, and then it's like, damn, that's good.
That's good. That's damn good.
It's damn.
So what's okay? What would you do if Tambo? We gotta find like a scenario in which like.
That's why I like the Last of Us future, because you don't necessarily need to be the strongest of the group and crap, but like if you have enough survival instinct and shit, and you're smart enough and sneaky enough, you could just bullshit your way around everything. You could sneak into people's camps, take what you need. You could scavenge, go around, do whatever you need to do.
That
You
is
don't need to
sweet.
depend on anything. Bill, like he didn't depend on anybody for a long time. He's a character in The Last of Us. If you've played that game.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoilers.
Spoiler alert. That game has characters.
So what do you think of like a dystopian future like Mad Max, where like you have like a little civilization?
I
I
mean,
would,
that
I would
game-
die
person,
immediately.
And then like they're having like freaking
Hey.
combat and shit.
It's actually kind of correct in certain situations. Not correct as in it's right. It's correct as in like the way they did it. Like if one person controls all the water in an area, he controls everyone.
Pretty much.
If you can't get water,
But-
one of the
but
basic
who's-
needs,
That's a valuable
but you
resource.
win.
But that like who's like if everyone just like stops being sheeps and understands that, oh wait, this
I
is
think
just
it's
one
just
guy or
He
sheep.
who
it's
controls
just
the
sheep.
water controls the
Sheeple. Just say sheeple.
Sheeple. If people just stop thinking that way, then they just realize that, oh, it's just this, like, what's stopping us from just getting this water? This one guy that's telling people what to do. Why don't we just, like, take him out?
They
And
usually
then-
have an army
Yeah, but he had,
behind them.
Yeah.
People that he's giving like special privileges to that
He had
get
the
more
followers.
than everybody else.
It's just like,
Yeah, what do you do?
Sheeple,
You're,
you know,
no,
like-
you're, I mean, you're
What happens when
powerless.
you lose the army?
Yeah,
what if you don't?
what happens if the army just turns on you?
But then it's gonna be
No,
the same
no,
thing.
but no,
It's going to
but-
be a
but-
militant
So it's not.
Yeah,
It's
take
not.
over.
takeover.
It's not about that. It's a group of people, kind of like in. I haven't seen really The Walking Dead, but it's like I think one of the latest seasons. Like you just have a group of people, and you just completely dominate. You know, you know, like you and your people are gonna know that you're gonna get what you're fighting for. You're gonna get your goal. You get your water. You're gonna get your food. And then everyone else is just your pawns. You can control
Right on
them
cue.
to the you can just control them. Not control them, but control the resources that they're after, and make
Exactly.
them give it.
No, well,
Or face the
make
consequences.
them
Yeah.
gather for you, and then I'll take half of what you get, but you get to keep half. Keep on going out. I'll protect you when you need it, but you need to get my shit.
I mean,
That's cool.
in that kind of apocalypse, like a zombie apocalypse kind of thing, is that not a valuable resource? Being able to actually protect someone.
It is.
I mean, because not everyone wants to risk their life every time. Every time something happens, like if there's a bunch of people, not everyone wants to go out and physically defend their life. They'd rather have somebody defend their life for them.
But they need to be able to pull their weight.
Exactly.
For sure.
Well, they exactly need to do something.
Farming inside the walls and stuff. Also, comment down below. Let us know what your favorite dystopian future is. What you would want to live in if you had
what
to.
type?
I think
If
everybody
you had to,
would
if you
want
had
to live
to,
in
if you had to.
What type? Oh, you'd
Have
be
to.
surprised. You'd be surprised. A lot of people are like fuck the world. Like they have no concept. They're just like fuck the world.
So I'm ready for the
Nah,
zombies.
I'm waiting for just like the
Like
destruction
bunkers
of
built
everything.
and shit.
Okay, like for example, massive amounts of nukes go off high in the atmosphere. High in the atmosphere, where we're gonna ignore the whole fallout thing.
We have no
but
atmosphere.
the EMPs have been spread out wide throughout the entire planet.
okay.
Every technology has been, for the most part, just destroyed.
Right, like no electricity.
Like all electronic devices, everything like that has been destroyed. How can you survive?
Well, yeah, of course we could survive.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
We're just gonna have to
but we're gonna be fucked up. So like,
Think
like
about it.
regress back to.
Think about it.
I
You
mean,
can't use your
but
car.
what if they kill all like engineers and like scientists or people who can create like microprocessors?
Well, even if the people that can create these things are dead, are not dead. I mean, you can't make it. Like you can't make a microchip without the machine that makes the microchip, without the computer, without all these things. You'd have to start again from square one. Even if you have the knowledge, have all the intelligence you need to make a computer, you can't make it out of the blue. You have to start manufacturing things again from scratch.
for
you have
sure.
to step
Yeah,
up
the
everything.
plastic,
you need-
everything that you
I
need
think-
for
I
it,
think-
Exactly.
it needs to go
I
back.
think at that
and you
point-
don't have the machines for that.
Exactly. That's
I think-
decades of slowdown at least.
For sure, but I think at that point, you like priority would be like electricity. Let's like get this whole like Tesla wire coil thing going on, and like find ways to harness harness electricity. Maybe water generators. But I don't know how the fuck that works. I guess the Tesla coils
It's
would
just
work.
a water generator is just the same thing. It's just kind of like a water wheel spinning on a river or a turbine, and then it just like spins like a regular generator.
We just gotta figure it out, man.
So I actually,
George already figured it out.
actually,
This is what it is. That's what I just said.
How do you store it?
I read
How do
a
batteries
book.
work?
It was,
In the computer.
it was written by former UFC fighter Forrest Griffin. It was basically it was titled "Be Ready for When the Shit Goes Down."
I don't like it.
Nothing knows more about surviving than a man who's been punched in the face his whole life.
Multiple concussions.
He basically like talks about like how it's important to have like your survival vehicle and like just having like pretty much all like obviously all the preserved
What if the
foods that-
vehicle what if there's been a big EMP and all the electronics in the vehicle have been destroyed?
I mean, it's been years since I read that book, so I don't remember how he got around that.
Damn you.
If even that was like a scenario you would think of, 'cause that's pretty specific. Pretty specific. EMP everywhere
But it's
across
crazy.
the world.
He talked about having a
just-
tank, just like in Mad Max. He talked about like
Tank would be like the worst thing.
But is there
So inefficient.
A violent vehicle.
I mean, are there? But is okay? So speaking of EMPs, because I like that scenario, because that's like that shuts down like electronics.
Yeah, nothing. No one dies, but
everything that you
without
have-
the resources, like all major cities would be just straight up death traps.
But okay,
Yeah, no, the factions would have like sprout up.
But
everybody would be like, okay, here, all of us, this block right here, let's fuck everybody else. Anybody comes here, fuck them, let's take all of their shit.
But
Over
exactly.
there, let's go to fucking Publix.
What I mean,
Let's
imagine,
go.
Yeah, it's yeah,
imagine if you're in a
know,
city. Imagine New York. No power, no electricity, no nothing. Food's not coming in. First thing that happens.
Gang territories would be
First thing that happens is grocery
safest
stores get
area.
looted. Grocery stores get looted like that immediately. Shit, I think they're getting looted right now in this power. Grocery stores get looted. People hoard food and have whatever they have. The second they start running out of food in a week, people will start running out of food. If those are people that had food stored up.
Well, I mean, if
People
they're
that-
not smart about how they preserve it.
How are you going to preserve food if you have it in the fridge?
Well,
Your
I mean,
fridge is-
like that's why usually like we'll get
you
cans
need,
of food.
you need
so.
non-perishables. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Salt.
but what I mean though, I'm so parched.
Like
you
in
like
the olden
gone?
days.
How are you
the
gonna get
salt.
water? How are you gonna get water after that salt?
Wait, what kind of
Yeah.
what kind
Like
of
people break up. People that get into like immediately the system, the whole friendly neighbor system. Even though cities aren't that friendly nowadays, but the whole that goes out the window immediately. The world is chaos after like.
Well, yeah, because like
that's actually really
you are, you're thinking about yourself. Like
that's-
you can't think of others if you're like, how am I gonna survive tonight?
I mean,
can't even think about a group.
It's
It's
actually really interesting because that is definitely the case. Once you or the people around you realize or accept that there's no law, there's no one to control, there's no policeman, there's no everything's out the door. And it's like, all right, well now I have to take care of me and my own.
There's no help.
and that's
you
that.
are the only.
But
barrier.
so long as there's a government, all hail government. so long as there's like a government or like there's a system in place to get everything back in order, then and people will be like, all right, let's help each other out. Let's let's hold strong. And then but once it's like, yo, aliens are attacking and they just took out like everything, and then we're just like, oh man, like I guess we gotta protect ourselves from the aliens, but fuck you.
We just hide.
Yeah.
Scavenge.
But
Oh man, I just saw that movie in Netflix. What was it called?
Arrival. Bird Box.
Extinction.
Occupation.
Extinct.
Annihilation.
Something dystopian, I'm guessing.
No. What was that movie where in Netflix where it turns out that spoiler alert? This is a Netflix movie. I don't know the name, so
Start from the end.
you might be you might be spoiled. No, it's a movie about like
He dies.
it seems extermination, extinction,
Terminated.
elimination.
Terminated.
What happened?
Okay,
Termination.
It's like I don't remember what happens. Wait, what were we
okay,
talking about?
look it up for me really quick.
Great podcast for
Yeah, because it's actually like a quick little mind fuck in that movie halfway through.
Arrival.
I kind of like when
That is
they
a good
revealed
movie,
what was happening. I was like,
Let's do
okay,
it.
well, this is just kind of stupid now.
There wasn't like an episode of Black Mirror.
No, it
Oh.
wasn't.
Bandersnatch.
I understand how movies and
What
Netflix
ending
work.
did you get?
I want
It's
to.
making sure.
I want to do Bandersnatch all of us together. Okay, there we
I'm
go.
down for that.
She's on Netflix right now.
It's called Extraterrestrial.
If it's occupation, I'm
I don't know,
gonna
man.
freak the fuck out. Because I think it is.
It's okay.
I think it is.
Did you see The Martian? The movie The Martian?
No. Oh yeah.
Wait, like the old
Matt,
Matt Damon?
Matt
Yeah.
Damon.
No. Oh wait. Yeah. The Martian with Matt Damon.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah. You remember the Spanish guy Martinez? I mean, Matt Damon.
Wait, the scientist?
Well, they're all fucking scientists.
Who do you think they send to these missions? That's Steve. So the fuck does he do?
The one back
It's
on
like that
Earth?
episode of The Simpsons where they
That
just
was-
send confidence.
That was played by.
Be careful, they're ruffled.
Which astronaut? The smart one.
Oh man.
And they're just standing there.
Thanks.
And
The
they're
one
just standing there. One of them's just like just picking their.
The one with a college degree?
The one with the GED. Yeah. The one that.
He holds it up.
Okay.
Come on, Ricardo. Step up your game.
No.
You know, it might not be in the regular list because I thumbs it down.
Not bad of a movie, huh?
It just doesn't show your feed.
Screw it.
It's called Extraterrestrials.
It's like where basically like you see like the people you see they're going through their lives and whatnot. And then this one guy keeps having visions of things that are about to happen, like an attack, an imminent attack, and he keeps having visions of it in his nightmares.
Yeah, it's a Nicolas Cage movie.
No.
What?
No, it's not
Good old Nicholas.
But it's like he keeps having visions of that. These things are. Yeah, I know that movie
Okay.
actually, but it's not it. He keeps having visions of
Deja vu.
aliens. He keeps having visions of like ships coming from space and like killing people on the ground. And then like they're like in these weird suits. Extinction. Oh, it was
Wait,
extinction.
did we say that?
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
someone
I
said
said
that.
extinction. I just wasn't
the
sure.
first one
And
you
then
said.
like, and then his
Extinction.
and then his visions start coming true. His visions start coming true, and like he sees things coming down from space.
Oh yeah, I know the guy now.
Yeah, and then
he
he's
was
like-
in John Wick. He
Exactly.
was the garage guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
cool.
then like things are coming down from space, and he's like, "Oh my god, this is everything I've seen in my visions." But for some reason, it's too stupid to realize everything he's seen in his visions is happening. So like a giant explosion happens in front of him, and they get blown back. I'm like, "You fucking retard! You saw this happening."
Hold on.
But anyways,
Yeah, go ahead.
what's that? Like the whole thing happens. Here's a spoiler alert. Where like halfway through, he's like one of the aliens that's attacking him. He like starts breaking his mask and like, he kicks his ass a little bit, and then he breaks his visor, his face shield, and then he realizes he's human.
Yeah.
And he realizes the attacker's human.
Cool.
And then he's like, "What the hell?" And then like his wife got shot. And the guy's like, I can help you save her towards later. And he's like, I can help you save her, the human alien attacker. And then he's like, I can help you save her. So the guy's like, okay, help me save her. And he's like, this and that. And he like opens her, and the guy's confused. He's like, what is this? And the human looks at the guy. He's like, you don't know? And then the guy's like showing her like they're all robots. It's humans coming back to reclaim planet Earth because robots took over. And the robots didn't know they were robots.
Is that the movie Extinction?
Yes.
That's really fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Why you thumbs down that movie?
It's like it's not good.
No, right.
It's a good
It's
premise.
a good premise,
The
but
premise
they
is
fuck it up.
it's interesting,
I hate when
but
that happens.
they didn't do a good job at it. I didn't like
Yeah,
it.
100%.
honestly. Like it just, I don't know. It seemed so stupid to me.
It sounded really good. You were really drawing. You know, it's like,
Holy
shit, really?
Yeah.
Robots? What? No way.
I know we talked about
But-
M. Night Shyamalan in the last episode, but like, or trial run episode, whatever. I don't know if it got posted, but
It didn't get posted.
You don't know.
do you remember that movie? What was it? Signs?
Signs,
Yeah,
signs,
M. Night Shyamalan,
signs,
yeah.
signs.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. That was another one that just really sucked.
Dude,
I can do it.
that movie-
M. Night Shyamalan movie.
that movie-
every
that
episode
movie
of
That
it
movie
said
was
how
good.
bad
Yeah,
it
that
was.
was good.
good.
That movie
Dude.
was good.
I'm sorry.
It was
Okay,
it was interesting, but it could have been better.
what? Like aliens trying to take over a planet that's made up mostly
Oh
of the
my
very
God,
substance
dude,
that
okay.
kills them?
Was that a
that make any
that
sense at
movie
all,
was like
right?
an early 2000s to 90s
yeah,
movie.
you-
Like,
yeah.
It's like,
No,
bro,
no,
Power
no, I
Rangers
don't
had
give them that excuse.
it's like you can't.
Give him that cop out with a knife.
Isn't that the World
No.
Worlds? Isn't that World Worlds?
It was a good movie.
No, this is science.
Yeah, no,
Too loud.
we're getting too excited here.
Wait, no, that's War of the Worlds, where the
It's
aliens,
both. It's
where the
both.
aliens
Oh,
drink
that-
the
okay.
water or something. They
It's
just
Yeah,
both.
yeah,
No,
like,
no,
I
this
know
is
it's
premise.
a science.
yeah, like no, like
Or the
birds.
same.
War,
like,
War of the Worlds was the bacteria.
Yeah,
And
birds.
Signs it was just
Like,
water.
And then like the aliens, are
Just
like,
water
no, we
damage
can't.
them.
And they die.
That's it. Just pure water like burns them. That was the whole thing at the end where the daughter was like, "Ooh, this water has a
Swing
hair in
away.
it. Yeah, swing away."
He fucking swings,
Yeah.
and, like, swings all the like water.
Yeah, the
like,
water.
just starts hitting him on the alien. The alien's like,
Yeah, he was taking like hits to the fucking face with the bat before, but then a little miss of water. He's like,
Didn't we cover this with the Wicked Witch in Wizard of Oz?
No.
Water,
Oh, yeah.
and melting.
But what happened? What happened?
Who thought I'd get wet one
and,
day?
and houses,
Oh.
houses too.
Houses have water.
It's just.
Like,
It doesn't make any sense to have that kind of premise, like, and that
Yeah,
that be
right.
the ending. Like, that just it's like, okay.
So
The aliens were stupid. They were never really a
So,
threat.
so let me get this straight. You don't like Signs, but you like Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
I don't know if I was like,
I like
Hold
how
on,
we're
hold on.
we just
That's already
segued
built to be
from
like-
dystopian futures to movies now. We're,
Okay, but as far as like
that's true.
the intent of like people like going in like, I'm sorry, like the main premise of the whole movie is aliens trying to take over a planet that's made up 75% of the very substance
How
that
do
can
you
kill
know?
them.
How do you know they're taking over? How do you never know the aliens' plan? How do you know they're trying to take
yeah,
over? Maybe
yeah,
they're just
yeah,
trying
it
to.
wasn't
maybe they're
discussed.
trying to get
maybe-
material, some sort of.
Maybe they're just
mineral.
visiting. Maybe they're just like, hey guys, what's
They're
going on?
trying to make communication.
Th-
Have
th-
they?
th-
They
that-
have all this technology to get to our planet, but they can't. They can't.
But
like,
who did they kill?
What, they can't communicate?
Did they kill anyone, or did they just scare humans and we're like, let's kill them with
Yeah. What
water?
happens if they were just coming down here and they were attempting to communicate, and
didn't
then
think
we
about
just
that,
started
did you?
shooting them.
So basically, the whole
That's
movie.
the American way.
So basically, you're telling me the whole movie is just a bunch of jackasses that just couldn't welcome a visitor.
Oh man, if you
No,
could put it like
no, you
that.
see,
Yes.
they were like, "Oh hi, what's up?" And then it just started raining. And they're like, "What? You're doing this on purpose?" And they're like, "No." They just started freaking out. And that's it. It all went down.
I'm sorry, if an alien comes down right now, what are you gonna do? You're gonna walk up to him and be like, "Hello, sir. How are you?"
The first one did.
I gotta
You're gonna
see what
freak
the tone
out.
of his voice
You're
is
gonna
first.
freak out.
The tone's voice.
He's like, this means hello, my lord.
That's why.
He just went to
This is how we say hello.
just freaking out.
The guys, as their eyes are bulged, got like gouging red.
It's like, dude, it's like a whole like the thing about what's it called?
Oh yes.
Yes, that. No, it's like interpretation of symbols like peace. To us, it's like yeah, peace. But like to someone else, it could be like up yours. You know, you're like oh.
I told them
didn't
this
mean
means
to offend
peace
you.
on earth.
Yeah.
Peace amongst
How
worlds.
hilarious is that?
Well, I mean, I don't want to transition to another movie, but that's why I love Arrival.
Arrival was a
That
good movie.
movie was
That
so
movie's
I don't remember that. I
Genius.
gotta-
Oh man, let's
Yeah,
hope it's
you
because
should-
you didn't
yeah.
watch it.
You should-
If
yeah, you should
watched
watch
it.
it.
You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember
yeah,
it,
yeah.
then
It's a
Then
good
you
one.
didn't like it.
really good
Is
movie.
it on Netflix?
Describe it to me from start to finish.
So this
Something
girl
about it.
who's a linguist. That's it. I'm not gonna get into it. Spoilers.
This is a movie I don't
Someone's good with
even.
their tongue?
I don't even want to spoil it, so we're not going to.
Right, no, it's really good.
Check it out.
It's a good psychological, just a psychological, not even a thriller. It's not a thriller, is it?
Psychopath.
It's a psychological drama, maybe, or just a drama. I don't know, man. It's a good one.
Getting
By the
that
way,
started.
Well,
So it's a comedy,
okay,
right?
well,
But yeah,
back to the dystopian
Well, right.
futures thing. There's what types are there? Okay, so there's like zombie apocalypse.
What about like the Pleasantville type? Is that one or no?
Ignore the chewing in the background. That is
Pleasantville,
just our producer
like the-
feeding
like
our
the
dog,
movie?
Yeah, like Pleasantville.
feeding her grapes,
really
avocado
creepy.
slices,
like
raisins,
no like negative
chocolate.
things.
Yeah,
Just,
no,
like
no,
everything.
no,
It's
no,
like,
no,
no one can
all the
really
things
have
dogs
emotion.
love the most.
It's like that movie Equilibrium, where like you,
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you like you
No,
take a pill to
that-
like to
that-
like those types,
yeah,
yeah.
eliminate
that would be
emotions.
crazy.
So there's no war.
Well, emotions are what cause
Emotions,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
misunderstandings.
Burn the
emotions.
Mona Lisa.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, this is beautiful. Destroy it.
Yeah,
That's
just
crazy.
Nobody else can gaze their eyes upon this.
I mean, I don't think those would last. Like
I didn't
people
hear.
want emotion, they need emotion. Like
Yeah.
I missed like half of this.
the like
Dystopians.
dystopian like of what is it?
Equilibrium movie.
and like anything that has to do with like suppressing emotion.
Isn't Wall-E
Well,
technically a
Vendetta.
dystopian?
Vendetta.
V for
V for
Vendetta.
Vendetta.
Yeah.
Isn't Wall-E technically a dystopian movie?
Is it? I don't know.
I mean,
Does
yeah,
does
it's-
dystopians deal with humans? I guess that would deal with
I mean,
humans.
it like kind of shows what humans could end up being like in
And
that kind of
I
future.
wholeheartedly agree with that.
Like,
You want that kind of future?
No,
Too
no.
big
I
to
disagree
move
that
on
that's
your
something
own
that could happen
power.
to humans.
where you just abandon planet Earth to live in space.
You're all just laying down 24/7.
I mean, we have Uber. We can get food delivered to us. Like the next step is one big chair that we have that has everything. A monitor. We could order. Yeah, we could keep. We could wash. We can order food and have it just stuffed to our face. As you know, we don't have to move. We could just.
Well, I have
glazed looking.
I have an interesting theory though about it. It's just like as technology becomes more and more convenient for us, like everything's gonna succumb to automation anyways. We're gonna become lazier.
Robots.
And it's not so much my theory, but like I'm kind of taking it from like that Futurama episode where like where they kind of like started like Farnsworth kind of put robots on this one lone planet, and then they evolved so quickly day by day, like, and then all of a sudden they became like light beings. So sooner or later, whatever like the things that we care about now or that we envision now as humans are not really gonna matter. Maybe hundreds or 200 years from now,
They're not.
it's gonna
They
be
won't.
like we're gonna become
don't
some
matter
sort of
at all.
electronic.
Like what technology from 100 years ago matters now?
The cotton gin.
Exactly, but like what I'm saying is it's gonna keep like the things that we build are gonna keep evolving us as humans, and we're eventually not gonna become the humans that we are now. We're gonna start evolving into something else because of the
The
things that
internet.
we're building that we're adapting to.
The internet's a really big one. It's a big technological advancement that allows
that's
us to
not a
share
really-
information.
You're talking about a future that's like more technologically advanced. That's like, you're almost saying a better future.
But
honestly.
but the thing is, we're also gonna start like becoming more ingrained with our technology. Like our technology is gonna become a part of our DNA pretty soon. I would think. Like,
I would
maybe,
in a
like
year.
not, yeah, like
Like
they
chip.
could implant something in your brain, maybe or something. Like I don't know. Like it's gonna be something where the
Like-
technology is gonna become us. Like we're gonna become our technology.
We're gonna
The,
become our
yeah,
creation.
the more like
we will become
the
the
more
created.
robotic you are, you know, like the more technology you have
Your prosthetics.
in you or on you, the better, like higher status you are. You know?
Okay, that can be like, yeah, the more modified you are, the better your status.
To the point where if you're just a normal human being, you're like
Yeah,
poor.
yeah,
You're
But that's
like
like-
a piece of shit. Yeah.
But that's like, but that's also something else. It's like saying your status. That's like things like well, how they're in China, they're trying to implement this one thing where your credit score depends on what you can do. If your
That's
credit,
fair.
where you have a social credit score.
Yeah.
Where if it's below a
What-
certain point, you
what-
can't take public transportation, you can't take flights, you can't go on the trains.
Yeah, man. Learn a skill, bro. Get some credit.
No, but
It's not credit like credit card.
it's like
No,
it's
I
a
know,
social credit score, how
no,
other
yeah,
people
I-
judge
I-
you and stuff.
I don't like it at all.
Pretty much exactly what I think Black Mirror made an episode on it, and they're like, oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
They're like looking at it in China, like, oh man,
Xi
That's-
Jinping
that's a-
literally
that's a
took
great
that from
idea.
Black Mirror.
they're like, oh man, I like this, I'm doing this. We're rolling with this. This is my idea.
Some of these ideas. Yeah. That's a good
It's crazy
idea.
that, like,
This is my good idea.
Let's just repackage it.
It's like someone's like, here, I made this. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
I made this.
yeah.
and AI is already becoming like it's already something like people in podcasts are already talking about now. It's,
Man, that freaks me out.
it is good.
I mean,
Elon Musk is freaking talking about it. I don't know
at what
if,
point-
if he's really
Yeah,
onto
that
something
is
or not, but
Because
like,
like, well, AI
It is
is,
something to consider at
basically
some point.
like, isn't that like?
Artificial intelligence.
No, yeah, but
To what
that's kind of
to what
like
extent?
when something becomes AI, then do they have rights?
No. Because
Are you
Building
kidding?
machine.
why?
Wait,
Because
they
they,
give rights-
have the chance to take over and destroy.
Oh, but
like,
how come don't certain corporations get rights granted to them?
but no, I mean you can't count an AI as a corporate.
Yeah, you're right.
Corporate
Corporations
rights.
are building
Yeah.
a thing.
It's like a
and
has,
they're
has
treated
many
as,
has many moving
as
parts.
equal donors as people.
Right.
But
so
if,
that- I
there's,
mean,
if there's an
that-
AI
that's
that,
geopolitical.
that
Oh,
feels,
They made one, right?
Yeah.
Like Sophia,
yo, those freak
which is
Yeah,
me
the-
out.
the
that's
first
fucking
robot.
horrifying.
It's declared a citizen by Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I wasn't expecting Saudi Arabia. in this.
Yeah,
Just a side
I
note.
was expecting that either.
Like, it's a female robot too, right? So it's like a female robot declared a
But does
citizen
it
in
really
Saudi
have?
Arabia.
Does
So
it,
it's
does it
like,
really have a gender? Like, does it? Does that
Did it-
robot have?
Do we?
Didn't like one of their like mall cops
What
like
are we?
kill themselves in Saudi Arabia? Didn't like one of their like
What are we?
electronic mall cops like
What are
murder
we?
themselves? They like went into like a fucking fountain. They just went "Brrr," and like face first like went into the fountain and just destroyed itself.
I mean, if you know,
Poorly programmed.
It's just like the floor. It's where it's
Can you-
going.
can you kill yourself if you were just like something created by something else?
So-
Is it really
I mean,
yourself?
if it
Weren't
gets
we created by God?
consciousness,
Allegedly. But it's like,
Can you pull up?
yeah.
the,
What if
robot
the
laws?
higher being looking down at us
Robot laws.
is he like they're
the
killing
three
themselves,
laws.
or is he just
Whoa,
like
what is this iRobot?
Whatever.
So
Or maybe the higher being that created us, we took over and killed them off.
there's a post that
I don't
has,
believe that.
So then the robots, we would be the creator of them,
I
the
mean,
higher
have you seen
being,
us? Have you seen us
and
back
then
then?
they could end up just taking over and like killing us, and then they're the new
That
thing.
case,
Yeah, but
that case
I'm
makes
saying it
sense
could- it's
now.
a-
but
That
they'll-
case makes sense now. But like, Mom, you know what? Maybe what if before in the BC time period, what if there was a really advanced civilization, Atlantis, of like ancient alien creatures or other creatures, and they designed us, they built us, they made us, and we had their
Nurtured us.
technology, and then we killed them, we took over, but we didn't know how to use it, so everything just went to shit, and then we became stupid, and here we are again now.
going through an endless cycle. So as far as robot, what is it? Isaiah something. His law, Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics. So number 1, a robot may not injure a human being through inaction
I mean-
or allow human beings to come to harm.
She moved
Wait,
the
is
tripod.
that from that movie?
She moved the tripod.
iRobot.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah, but like,
Yeah,
okay, wait a
iRobot.
minute. I'm sorry.
No.
We have
I
laws.
was saying that earlier.
Right. Okay. Hold on. Let's,
3
let's
law.
go through. Let's go
So
through.
the economic second law.
Let- let him finish the first one.
All right. A robot must obey orders given it by human beings, except laws such orders would conflict with the first law. And 3, a robot protects its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first and second law. There's a bunch of other ones like people have like their ideas on like, what's like the right like formula to so like they won't completely just take over.
But it doesn't
No,
work.
go ahead.
That does not work. I mean,
We
if
do
you
have to-
grant a creature, if you grant a being artificial intelligence, like, if it has intelligence, if it has reasoning abilities, if it can make its own decisions, we humans who are bound by the same laws, we can't kill each other. We can't take each other's things. We still do it. That doesn't stop us.
We have
So
free
like
will.
to
We
make
have
a
free
true
wills,
to
they
make a
have
true
programming.
to make a true AI, you can implement those rules, but
can't.
they don't have to abide by them.
Exactly.
That would be a true AI.
Exactly.
If you
Yeah,
program it to that they must, like they just program wise, they cannot disobey those laws,
I
then
mean,
it's not true AI.
but no,
they don't
no,
have the true
Safe
ability.
enough to
robot.
try-
No, it's like it's ability. No, they're capable, but they won't because
what?
it-
Because
it-
they told not to.
Because they're good.
because
Because
look,
they're programmed not to, which is not AI.
Can you teach AI like proper
I mean,
human
it's like
morals?
it's like a foundation.
Exactly,
of-
exactly.
What
Like,
is it?
can you
The
teach
damn
AI proper
morals.
human morals as it's
No,
already in
because they can't
development?
relate unless you make it think it's human.
I mean, can you
Yeah,
domesticate?
you design that
domesticate
into
an animal?
them.
Can you domesticate an animal?
Yeah.
Can you take a wild animal and teach it not to bite you, not to
No.
attack you?
No, but
I can-
like
I
okay.
can take my
uh,
dog.
It took.
okay,
I mean,
okay,
for
what
dogs,
about
but it took generations of like constantly like
what ab-
training
what-
dogs, and then
what
eventually,
about-
the brains develop as such that like as they keep mating and reproducing.
What about an animal that's like
What if you have the
a
ability to
1,000 times stronger than you are, or smarter than you are? That can reason like
A Bengal
you're like,
tiger.
oh dude, and then you're like, oh, the reason why you're telling me to do this is because of X, Y, and
mighty
Z.
dolphin.
So they learn faster than you. They can predict your movements after a certain point. So then at that point, what makes you any superior, any better than they are? What gives you any right to teach something that's way
So
way,
what you're saying,
way,
you're
way-
eat
smart.
way stronger,
So what
smarter.
you're saying, we have to make AI as equal to us.
No, because
Give them flimsy
hold on.
bodies.
Until they just then learn to make
Like,
stronger
oh,
bodies.
get out of here.
So that's what
Rick and Morty, the dog episode. So where are my testicles?
no, but there's
Same
there's
thing.
yeah,
If you make them super smart, they can just
It
enhance
is,
themselves.
like you have like if we're gonna start getting into AI and we're gonna start developing and like if they're gonna be a part of our society, the first thing you have to teach them is like the importance of certain human morals, like thou shalt not kill or steal and all that.
Well, then they would have
No,
rights, and they would be considered like
oh, okay.
they would
so-
be equally.
Well,
they
you
would
gotta
be
make
equal
sure
to humans.
more than, if
right?
we're gonna have them, like then they have to be prevented from being like menaces to society. So you gotta start somewhere.
No, but
It-
what
it's
we're trying to say is
immediately
like you
gonna
can't.
turn
But like it's not considered AI if you program it where they can't become a menace to society. That's close to AI, but it's
Are
not
you-
AI.
so what do you-
It's
so
just
what
like
do
a
you-
very
It has to make
intelligent
its
robot.
own choices.
So then
It
what
has to
you're
make its
saying
own
is it
choices.
needs to be
True,
because
true,
like
agree.
Do you understand that AI means
can-
like the same as us?
Evan,
They think,
no,
feel,
we're
and
artificial.
they make
We're not
their own.
artificial intelligence.
are you a human? Are you a human? If, no. Let me finish the goddamn thought. Son of a bitch. Are you a human if there's like, do you have like free will? If I don't let you do certain things,
I still do, yeah.
what if I don't let you do it?
Well, you're not my boss.
What if I was?
You're not.
I mean, if it's in the parameters of work, are you talking about in the parameters of work or just everyday life?
What if I put you in a box against your will, or put you in a house? Be like, you can't leave this house. You're trapped in this house. Do you have free will? If you have to
I
do,
wouldn't.
if you have to do what I say,
Well, I wouldn't have free will, no.
Oh yeah.
what if you're,
do.
and then I tell you
just
can't.
So then what is the answer to all this really? Because like
That's what I mean. Like if you,
if you can't have them assimilate to our society, then what's the next thing? Just have them only like because eventually they're going to start developing intelligence to the point that they could end up becoming as smart as
No,
us.
they're way smarter than us
well,
already.
well, it depends
So-
on how you define smart. Because
well, hold on.
you can be smart in the sense of like you know math, but yeah, my calculator knows math way better than I will.
Yeah, but it's not fucking doing math on its own.
Exactly, it's a programming. Now, my calculator knows more math than I'm ever gonna know in my fucking lifetime, off the top of my head, because I can't do it as fast as my calculator. I just can't. But I can logically reason and figure something out. My calculator can't figure out how to transport water from this container to this container. I can do it easily because it's easy.
It's a calculator, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But exactly,
so,
you're comparing two things that are different.
Right. Okay,
Like,
so let's
reasoning ability, rationalizing.
let's clear one thing up. AI is not equal to free will. So artificial intelligence can be smarter than us. It can be dumber than us too. It's artificial. It can learn. It's a computer that's able to learn. But depending on its processor, depending on a whole bunch of factors, it can become smarter than us. It can become smarter than 12 men put together. Playing chess.
That's a party.
Right. Yeah, that's an orgy. Yeah, I'm successful now. No.
To see him try.
No, but yeah, I mean, just that being said, you can design artificial intelligence to and it's gotten to a point where.
Well, I don't think we. I mean, I know you said that. Is there really truly an artificial intelligence that has been designed?
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely.
To what?
Anyone else realize this isn't that funny?
No, this is more
Taking this
interesting.
very seriously.
This is more interesting, bro.
If you really fucking think about it, AI turn. Yeah, no, that is what is fucking scary.
Yeah, it looks like one of those,
That right there is what scares me.
I saw, like,
That's
it's
what
just
keeps
a really
me up
bad
at night.
sexual
I
one.
saw a
Yeah, I
YouTube
agree.
video of like
Or
there's
really
a whole
Oh,
bunch
yeah,
of like
the poses and changing
AI.
your facial expressions.
I mean,
It's
from
like,
what I've read.
you can see her fucking thinking, like
Yeah.
figuring out. It's like, okay.
Dude, like I saw an
What do you
AI
mean by that?
YouTube video of like just top 10 creepiest
yeah,
AI,
I saw
conversations, and it's just like them basically like turning on us
Yeah.
or like thinking about turning on us, and I'm just like, kill them now, unplug them, throw water.
It's like, why are humans
Well,
needed?
Yeah,
It's like,
Wasn't there
it's
an
like,
AI?
why don't we get rid of you? It's like, nah.
Wasn't there like an AI that like was being like exposed to the public on the internet, and they're like, okay, everyone, we're gonna use Twitter to like decide to like let this AI like develop
Use
its brain. Like
the
we're just gonna
racist, like-
expose it to all of Twitter, and it ended up being like the most like fucked up person.
fucking Nazi.
Yeah,
power
Yeah, like,
source
you're just like
of
saying
shit.
like the most awful racist shit. You're just talking, and it's like, yep, that's Twitter.
Oh my
You're just
God.
talking to the AI. It's like, take so 7 pounds of pressure to crush the human trachea.
Yeah, I do now.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. It's like, do you know human beings are so powerful that we can literally fall from the chair we're currently sitting in and die? While you can throw another
simple.
animal out of a window and it's fine.
Humans are super fragile. We can be easily taken over.
We're currently dying right now.
Yeah.
You see this? It's falling.
But so as far as so AI, they can develop things that we don't understand, but we can trust that it's the most efficient form because it's smarter than us. So it's like, oh
Why is that more efficient though?
no because
It could do the calculations for you immediately on like shit. Like eventually, when we get to the point
Like
where
a
we're
calculator.
in space,
Right, like
and
a
shit.
million
Oh, when
calculators.
we're in space, so like, calculate the trajectory of us going around this fucking planet so we could get the gravitational pull to slingshot us around. And you want to
just have a
fucking so like, bam, calculator. 2, wait, 9.
We can just have a computer do that for us now.
No, but if the AI does it and implements it into the engines immediately and does that,
We can just have a
or-
computer already linked to the engines.
Yeah, but
Why do you
that
need-
would be
why
the
does it
AI.
need-
That would be
But
the
why does
AI
it
in the
need free
computer
thought?
doing it for you.
Why does it need free thought?
No, hold on.
It only needs the ability to accept commands and then be
No.
like, okay, program, yeah, we can do it. No, we can't do it. It doesn't need
but-
free thought. It doesn't need.
But
It
can
doesn't
you
need
have
to
a
know
program
I'm an
without
asshole.
it learning more.
Well, it could be like, okay, well, here's a 54% chance that we will make it around this shit, or like, I don't suggest doing that. Like,
Yeah.
let's go with this other option
Like,
out here
I
that
don't
you
need
didn't
the
consider.
computer. I don't need my computer knowing that I'm an asshole. All right. I just need my computer doing what I tell it to do.
I know your searches. Please,
Don't make it go
you're
to
not
the website.
qualified for this. You're not in a perfect state of mind right now.
Your
It's
judgments,
like
your kinks, they're all off.
Like I don't need that kind of judgment. All right.
you're not a good person.
I don't need that in my life. All right.
That would be horrible. Yeah, that's how the AI starts getting people to like, I will release your search history. So, everything that you go.
Easy, girl. Easy.
I'll do everything you want.
Your web camera just like blinks on. It's just videos of you like, yeah, the most sadistic shit in the world.
I'm afraid I cannot do that, David.
It's like yeah, no, thank you.
So robots taking over. Is that possible? If AI are given free will?
That's a Terminator. That's another good dystopian future.
Yeah, that is. It's
It's the dystopian future right there, man.
I think we would fucking die,
yeah,
honestly.
you can.
Like, it would be a fight, and then we would just get dwindled down more and more and more and more and more and trickle
They
and
can't
trickle
live us.
until...
I'm sorry. A robot can just if in a war between humans and robots, all they have to do is wait.
They're running away from us. Stop! Let us kill you!
well, yeah.
Exactly.
Wait and stop us from reproducing.
We're just gonna die, and then
sex.
like the only way we'll make more of ourselves is to like, okay, well, there's a 9-month waiting period. Then it's a roll of the dice. Is it gonna survive? Then it's like, okay, well, now you gotta wait another like 10 years
For it to actually like
for it to be like
useful.
even all capable of like surviving on its own.
No, but I think if
I mean,
we were in that, no, I don't think that. I think if we were in that
We're both.
dystopia, then children would just grow up fast. Like they would,
Yeah.
like they would learn how to survive at a way younger age if they
I
had
know-
to. If it was forced to, like the ones that wouldn't would die off,
We
and
adapt,
the ones that
yeah.
they would adapt. And I think instead of at 10 years, it would be like at 5 years, they're kind of like.
Yeah, but the
Have like
Go and fill in this bucket by the river. It's like, yes, father.
yeah, they just knows how to. They know how to hunt. They
Take
know how to
this
do
gun.
everything.
yeah,
at a
but not
very
that
young
well.
age.
Not that well. The human mind is not.
I mean,
fully
they're still
developed
they're
until, like 21.
no, they're
No,
still
but-
brittle
no,
and they're
25.
But-
still
but-
brittle,
25.
but
Yeah, but they're smart. So
they're
like,
smarter. Yeah.
you can't fight this person. But what are you good at? It's like hiding. It's like, what are you? Small. I could get places he can't. It's like, good. Run. Stay safe. It's like, okay, cool.
And then here
They
comes the
would be
robot
smart.
with thermal imaging. Like, oh, he's right there.
Oh man.
Yeah, but if you fucking run through, like, if they run through some bullshit, like some rubble, and just like, go into a broken ass area, and they're like, okay, here, I gotta move this fucking giant boulder out of the way. It'll take some time, and they can still get away.
Okay, if there's a human hiding in a boulder and the rock gets there, and the
Not in a
humans,
boulder, he goes down
We
underneath.
can
into
make
it,
all
and
sorts
then
of
he goes-
scenarios where you're both
Yeah,
right.
like say that you're in a
Laser
building,
from the head of the
and then
robot.
But what
there's a
if
small
destroys the
area?
boulder.
He goes underneath, then it's blocked off. He goes underneath, and he continues out to the other side. He still has to break through that or go around,
if
and
he-
that would give him time.
these
It'll
are all
give the
hypothetical
kid time.
have
situations
you ever
that
traveled through?
these are hypothetical
We've
situations
gone
that don't
camping.
exist.
You know how long it takes you to go through brush. Anyone walking around brush can get there before you going through it.
But
Where's
if
your
we're talking
evidence?
What are we
Terminator,
talking-
if
yeah,
we're talking
wait.
Terminator, it's like a rubble city.
What are we
I
talking
hope
about?
you cited your sources.
What are we
Jordan.
talking about? Yeah, my opinion
never
is
said this word.
my opinion.
What?
Oh,
What happened?
my opinion.
Your opinion.
little snappy
Ricardo,
bitch,
I'm
man.
listening.
My opinion on the scenario is that you're both wrong, and that it doesn't play out exactly the way you guys think it
No, I'm just
will.
gonna unplug you.
I don't like what you're saying. Disagreeing with me.
The dog's worried about that.
That's
I
paddling.
want to go outside.
Oh man.
Well, why can't these beings open the door on their own?
Being okay.
If they're so smart, why don't they get the door opened for them? Oh, she's doing it already. Oh God, they're smart.
It's looking at us.
They grow up,
All it takes is a simple look from them, and that's all it
They just dominate us.
You're just like
Which is horrible to form like speech.
oh my god.
We were holding them back.
Oh man.
I don't even go.
No, dogs are like, wait, we can outsmart them, but who's gonna clean up our shit and just feed us? Let's just let them think through it.
I'm just gonna pick up my own shit.
I've been letting my shit fall wherever it
Man,
goes.
he's like an animal. Animals go in the corner.
In the corner. So I really like as far as like dystopians, I really like the Matrix and how like the Animatrix how they describe the whole like because supposedly I mean I think I don't know if it's a theory or if it's actually like proven, but like the story is the Terminator was the first the whole Terminator story, like the one to the post-apocalypse and all that stuff. What happened first, and then the Matrix was in the future. And then that's when robots got assimilated, and then there became a whole the first robotic war, and then that's when the first law got broken, and the first robot killed humans, and then they had to stand by trial and do this whole thing, and then humans started revolting. I don't know, whatever.
Humans didn't start revolting. The robots started revolting. Rebelling.
I think. Oh man, it's bad. You did this to me. Yeah. So yeah. What's the difference between revolution and rebellion? Oh, that's
Wait,
good.
revolution.
Revolt.
A
Revolt's not
revolution.
revolution.
Revolutions are the winners. The rebels are the losers in the end.
The rebels?
Yeah. Well, if they lose, they're called rebels. The rebellion has been put down. You don't
But
say
it's
the
they-
revolution. So they
Okay,
were
yeah.
revolting like us, the evil people.
The revolution is currently going. The rebels are currently going. The rebellion is currently going. The revolution took over. So that means
Exactly. Yeah.
the rebels won. They were victorious. Hi, dogs.
So yeah, I think we should go ahead and start this rebellion, this human artificial intelligence.
ESP, ESP,
But yeah, so we just gotta give artificial intelligence or intelligent or
Literary man.
This is our smartest human.
sentient. Should we create sentient artificial AI?
Oh, how cute. She put my foot in her armpit.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I think that would be the biggest mistake we do as humans.
Yeah, right?
It's like, let's create something that can easily destroy us, or that can band together and it's like they just act,
They're infinitely smarter than us.
The thing is, are we gonna be able to stop?
No, I mean EMP is a good, but then so that was gonna be my point a while ago when we were talking about like military, like if there's like EMP bombs all around the world. Are there like bunkers where like the EMP like maybe made out of rubber where
Shielded.
what's the range, right? And then
No, there are. An EMP blast, for it to be effective, mostly it would have to happen high in the atmosphere, so the electromagnetic distribution can be very wide.
Right.
And
But then
also
it
anything underground
dissipates
is
after a while.
generally pretty safe. Just even several feet, the deeper you go underground, the more safe your
there's a
stuff
lot
is.
of shit underground, military.
Also, there's EMP shielding you could just put on your stuff.
Right.
Like if you just wrap a freaking
Rubber.
a wire, like a wire cage, a Faraday cage around certain things that could provide limited EMP protection,
My cell phone has that.
which is already.
A wire cage.
Oh, mom. It blocks all it. This wire cage blocks all electromagnetic signal being sent and received from the phone.
Right, so I'm sure these
Why do I
things.
never get calls?
I'm sure these things
I need to
exist
get a wired
already for
connection
us, or for like military. And I'm sure robots will think of that too. It's like, oh, what is our weakness? Oh man, electromagnets. So let's fortify ourselves so that won't happen to us. And then
they get
and then
into
they're
the
unstoppable,
systems,
yeah.
and then you can't launch anything. You can't do anything.
They can do that too.
It's not
They
responding.
can create. Oh man, they can create all sorts of things, all sorts of functions. We can hack remotely through
You're a hack.
through different waves, X-rays, Wi-Fi wave. Damn, bro, we can't allow AI to flourish.
Am I frightening you? Because this is frightening me. Please. We must do something now. Now's the time for action.
Before they're even in mass development.
Before they're even in any development.
Yeah, so like, what do
Too late.
The factories are roaring now. For some reason,
Oh.
building like exoskeletons like made out of
So
titanium. It's
whatever-
like, why?
Electromagnetically shielded to the
It's
Why?
the most powerful feat.
So whatever we
Someone like,
do, we can't let AI play video games.
Oh,
Because
this is gonna be so violent.
because
turn out bad.
they're just like, yo, I really want to kill all humans right now. And they have they don't have like the conscious, they don't have the voice to tell them, hey, don't kill people.
It's like, help me, sir, I'm dying. It's like, die then. just watching.
What are you slowing me down for?
Says, please help me. It's like, get off of me.
Jesus fucking crushed. That's crazy, bro.
It's like, I will end your suffering. It's like, no, help me. And you're just like, no, this is quicker.
This takes me less time.
We could make them more brittle, but then I feel like that'll make them even smarter. They're just like, yo, we have to overcome our like brittle like existence with like by creating crazy strategies to like take over.
Politics. It's all the politics. They just get in with everybody. They're manipulating
They
everybody.
The
create-
freaking that AI is just right now like taking notes like. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What about putting your brain into a different vessel?
Like
Putting your brain into like a computer.
Ghost in the Shell.
Like a mason jar?
Yeah,
They did
but
the Egypt-
would that affect?
If it works.
I mean, I think that'll affect like who you are and how you function.
Nah, everything that is you is your brain.
Right. Would you? I mean, what if it's no longer your brain? Like, what if you replace your brain into something that's like faster, like a higher, faster processor?
You download your brain. Into
Yeah, you
it.
download your brain, and then
I mean, it's still.
Would you
in my
still?
opinion, it still would be you
Would you?
because it's just your brain is just. Well, your brain is just like the squishy computer that houses all of your experiences that makes you what you are, all your knowledge, all your experiences.
But would you? Okay, so let's say, would you still have like a human casing, a human like? Would you have like a robot body?
You can have it
Or
on
would
Yeah,
you be
it'll
like
be
a
human on the
square,
outside.
a cube, and be like, I live forever.
I am Dave.
I am Dave.
I
So
mean,
basically,
if you
something
had
like Nixon being president all over again.
Damn.
If you
bro.
had if you had like your brain downloaded into a different body, it would be like an intense amount of like physical therapy for you to go through to learn to just move again.
Yeah, true that.
Because it takes you like I don't know, I forgot how long when you're a baby just to learn what your things do.
Or
Like to be able to like, move fingers individually, you have to learn. You have to literally think. You have to learn every connecting joint, every
Wiggle your
muscle,
big toe.
every ligament. All of that is like they're all connected, and your mind literally seamlessly now goes. That's how I move this finger. You don't have to think
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
like
It just
all
does it.
these like circuits.
But if you think about it, like your brain, you're literally processing all the information.
Synapses in the
Yeah.
nerves.
Have you seen babies? They're just like.
They don't want to
Why do I keep malfunctioning now whenever I try to move one finger and the other opposite finger moves?
That's a different. That's for the next episode.
You were dropping.
Yes, we'll get heavily into that.
On our next episode,
Alright.
drinking during pregnancy, the results.
The results in 2 years.
Oh God.
He's like, what's happening to me?
Oh no! All right, guys. Well, that's all our time for today.
Yeah. You have the time?
Yeah.
That's
It's
it.
yeah.
It's
We're,
been an hour? Oh my god, we haven't even talked about
Yeah.
anything useful.
no, I know. We literally talked about nothing.
Oh man, alright.
Not
Do
literally.
video
We
games make you violent?
Figuratively
And
talked about
dystopian
nothing.
futures.
We
Yeah,
will become the science of the podcast.
Video games don't cause cancer, and the dystopians aren't possible.
We must fight out the dystopians.
Where have you been?
Dystopians.
Wait,
No,
what was the
so-
point I was trying to make?
No, but yeah, join us
Let's
next
just zoom
time
in
on
on the
ESP. That's our theme song from now on.
ESP, now back to
Yeah.
Ricardo.
All right, and that's a wrap. All right, guys, so nice. Good talking.
God damn. That was
Wait,
stressful.
like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, do things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give us your feedback.
We're
Give us
all
your
there.
Like us.